What's up, man? This your boy L Boogie. I am here to give my super friends top five of 2022 from the Easily Offended podcast. You feel me? Shout out to Beerz and Barz. Make sure you follow those brothers out on YouTube, Instagram, and everything like that. So today we're drinking the Great Lakes Christmas Ale. So it's only right that I do this with Beerz and Barz. So I figure that I should get a beer. I already poured my beer, so you know what I'm saying. You see that pour? I'm a professional. You know what I'm saying? So let's get right on into it. So these are my top five that I listen to that I vibed with of all 2022. Some of the albums came out a little bit later in the year, but they outweighed a lot of the other albums that I did listen to and vibe with. I do have some honorable mentions. We'll get into that shortly. But let's start it off, man. Conway The Machine, God Don't Make Mistakes. That was like one of my go-to albums to listen to while I was driving Uber, all type shit, giving the passengers boom, 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 boom vibes. You feel me? But let's get into it. Tears of Gas featuring Rick Ross, Lil Wayne, one of the best songs out of the year. Very dope. Very dope bars. Lil Wayne has definitely showed out this year, 2022, with all his features that he was doing. Piano Love is my super favorite joint because I love the piano sound. Wild Chapters with T.I.'s definitely a vibe. Talks about, the life struggles of just dealing with the fame and stuff that you have experienced in your lifetime. Conway really got off on that. And then John Woo, like, come on, man. Benny the Butcher, West Side Gun. It's the classic Griselda sound. Like, you cannot deny that. You know what I'm saying? Stressed with Wallow. This song was very touching to me because it deals with, Conway really opens up about how many people he take care of and how stressful it is, and nobody really asks him like, man, are you okay? But he's taking care of so much. And I think as an old grown man, with kids and have a family and everything, you do go through those trials and tribulations where you do be stressed out or worried about certain things. But that song really hit me on multiple levels. And how can we forget Chanel Pearls, like, featuring Jill Scott? Like, who would have thought Jill Scott was going to be rapping? I had no clue. When I saw the feature, I was like, oh, she finna kill the chorus. No, she comes in and spits bars. So that was one of my favorite. All around solid album. And, I'm looking forward to seeing what he has coming up in 2023 with his situation and with his label, Drumworks. Looking for the artists coming out of that camp. Really excited about that. So let's go to number two. Now, mind you, these are not in any particular order. It's not like this is the best one. This is, what I'm saying? These are just the five joints that I just picked that I listen to with the honorable mentions. You know what I'm saying? So let's go to Chicago's own Philmoore fucking Greene. Come on, man. West Side of Chicago, stand up. Shout out to Philmooregreene, Mellow Group, Apollo Brown. The name of the album is Cost of Living, produced by Apollo Brown. If you don't know who Apollo Brown is, you've been sleeping underneath a rock forever, because he is legendary when it comes to producing, okay? He just doesn't work with just anybody. Feel me? He has to reach out to you like, yo, I want to work with you. So he reached out to Philmoore, and Philmoore tells the story about basically how he met Apollo Brown and how they came up with the concept of the album. And Apollo Brown was like, yo, I'm going to give you the beats that I feel that is Chicago. You know what I'm saying? To give you that Chicago vibe. And I want you to tell your story. And Philmoore is a great storyteller. He goes on and on about a lot of situations, personal, with his friends, family, and stuff like that. So the album is really dope. The tracks you want to check out is, you know what I'm saying? Philmoore also calls himself the modern day Alex Haley, which is a very, very high bar to keep. And he holds that bar. So, Nice to Meet You, the introduction joint. You know what I'm saying? He talks about who he is. Philmooregreene on the chorus. It's very dope. Very dope track. Keep Going reminds me of a Little Brother vibe of the listening, so I definitely fell in love with that joint. Day on the Ad, Philmoore really gets into his visual raps. And when I talk about visual raps, I'm talking about visual raps like how like Nas or like Jay Z or even old school Biggie, how they will give you a story about what's going on in the streets, and it's a vision. So you can close your eyes and you can just vision what he's seeing. Like as he's walking down the block, you see the box Chevy, you see the Uncle Remus. You know what I'm saying? So that one right there really, really, really is a dope track. I'm just saying. That was Day on the Ave. Immaculate. The man said when he started that joint, he really wanted to think of a Black Thought level. And he really went in on a Black Thought level. Barz is, bar none, one of the dopest in Chicago. Me personally, I honestly put philmooregreene up there with all the other artists, major artists that has came out of Chicago. No diss to no other artists out there that's on their way up, on the way out, on the way up. I'm sorry, but lyrically, he's definitely one of the top in the city. Time goes. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Just play the joint. I'm just gonna tell you what songs to play, and you just go play them. Time Goes, Paradise, Steep Life, Hitting Blocks. Just imagine, all bangers, all bangers. Shout out to philmooregreene, Mellow Group, Apollo Brown. You know what I'm saying? Those are the friends of the show. Let's go down to what I got. Number 3. I'm gonna save number 3 to last. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say that to last. I'm gonna go right here to Freddie motherfucking Gibbs. So separately. I ain't gonna lie. I got up on Freddie Gibbs maybe like 4 years ago. A little late. But my God, like from Gary, Indiana, I would never expect the person to come out with such consistency. And the thing about what I really like about Freddie Gibbs is that when he performs live, he performs. Like he has no hype man. And if you listen to Freddie Gibbs, you know he's not a fast rapper, but he's very, very on point. You know what I'm saying? And when I saw him perform live, it was like he wasn't missing a beat. You know what I'm saying? Like he was doom. And that's what catches me as a great artist. So Freddie Gibbs, you know, he was nominated for a Grammy year before last. He lost to Nas. You know what I'm saying? But it was a well-deserved loss. You feel what I'm saying? Nas was first Grammy, and Nas definitely deserved that joint. But so separately, The Black is in the Room, produced by Alchemist. I mean, the whole joint is like produced by Alchemist. Like, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. Pain and Strife featuring Offset, R.I.P. Offset. We lost him this year in 2022. One of the losses that we, the hip hop community and the culture lost. Shout out to his family and the condolences out to his people and Migos. But Pain and Strife was definitely a good joint that I'll fuck with, very heavy. Lobster Omelet, I heard the joint with Rick Ross. Shit literally had me go to breakfast spots to get in a lobster omelet. Like, y'all sell these? I need that. This Christmas ale, fire. Yeah. Space Rabbit, he really gets into his lyrical bag. You know what I'm saying? Rabbit Vision, he also gets in his lyrical bag. PYS featuring DJ Paul's a turn-up joint. You feel what I'm saying? The list can go on and on with him. Like, he has multiple tracks on there. I mean, he opens up to a whole nother level. He talks about his depression. He talks about artists he's, beefs that he's had in the industry that he's, trying to figure out. Him and Jeezy squashed their beef. I don't think him and Benny the Butcher squashed their beef, but they both recently have been on interviews like, it is what it is. It's really not a real beef situation. Neither one of them wanted to go violent, especially out of all the artists we have lost this year due to violence. So, you know what I'm saying? I hope these brothers keep it under wraps. But yeah, Freddie Gibbs was definitely bumping him off whip all day, every day. You feel what I'm saying? And let's go to Pusha T. I mean, what can I say? Now he's Grammy nominated. Okay, Grammy fucking nominated Pusha T. I mean, first song, Brableton, produced by Pharrell. It seems like to me on the album, listening to the album, it sounds like Pharrell and Kanye was just going back and back, because I was excited for Pusha T to get back with Pharrell on a production tip, because I've been a fan of them from Eclipse and certain and the other joints they have. But amazing fucking album. The production is dope as fuck on there. Pharrell definitely did his thing. Kanye did his thing. You got Let the Smoke Shine Through the Coupe. Come on, man. That beat right there is crazy. Dreaming of the Past, Kanye definitely delivered on that joint. And I think that was Pharrell on the chorus. I want to say, like, the creativity to be in that room. Like, I wonder if these guys was all in the room together, at least for like 10 hours, like just coming, even if they only came up with one song, but just the production creativity in that room. I would have loved to be a fly on the wall in that room. You feel what I'm saying? But Neck and Wrist, come on, man. Crazy. Just so you remember, a lot of people don't know about Bugs the Beast out of Chicago. You feel what I'm saying? He's definitely one of the top producers in the game. Behind the scenes, on the scenes, he's Grammy nominated, Grammy winner. He did Chloe Bailey. He's done Pusha T. He's done Kanye West. He's worked with a lot of fucking artists. So big shout out to Bugs from the Chicago South Side Stand Up. You already know what it is. But he produced that record right there, just so you remember. And that bass on that joint is pretty dope too. Diet Coke, Call My Bluff, all crazy. I mean, Pusha T definitely delivered this year. I really hope that he does win a Grammy. Because he definitely deserves it. He deserves it because this album was pretty dope. I mean, he really didn't talk too much about Drake. You know what I'm saying? The whole situation. I mean, he did touch on a couple of things, but you know, it was just good to see that vibe. We don't know if we're going to get a Kanye West and Pusha T collaboration again, just because of the directions those guys are going into. I mean, if you already know, Pusha T is no longer with Good Music. So we're going to see what 2023 brings. But, you know, he does have a DJ Drama joint coming out in January, first quarter. They have talked about it. And big shout out to motherfucking DJ Drama, man. DJ Drama has been dropping fucking Gangsta Grills all fucking year, and he's definitely been killing the game. Like, I mean, it's so many Gangsta Grills, I can't even fucking name them. You feel me? I just can't. But yeah, that's Pusha T. And my last one, you know what I'm saying, before I give my honorable mentions, motherfucking King Disease 3. King Disease 3. Now, everybody that knows me knows that I'm a Jay-Z fan. You feel what I'm saying? I am. But for these past 3 years, I'm not going to lie to you, Nas has been mopping the floor with Jay-Z. Because some of the things that he has came out with, some of the things that he has just accomplished with Hit Boy and this 3-part series of King Disease, it's just been fucking amazing. Magic was dropped 2021, which was a very dope album as well. Ghetto Reporter. The man said the Audacity masterfully crafted these classics so naturally. Bars. It's amazing. You know what I'm saying? Nas to be at the level that he is at, it's like he's Jordan right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's Jordan the last 3 championships. Like, he's just doing it all. Like, every album he's dropped has been solid, good fucking albums. This King Disease 3 was just one of my favorite out of the 3. I mean, Michael versus Quincy is dope. 30's a motherfucking banger. Wasn't expecting Nas to rap over that beat. It reminded me of a old school Nas of Hate Me Now. I don't know why. That's the vibe I got. But it was definitely dope. Hood to Hood. Fucking great summer song. You ride with your windows down, top back, however you riding, and you just going to the barbecue or going to pick up some motherfucking beers. Matter of fact, let me take a sip. All right, let's get back to it. Reminisce. This is a classic joint. Sampled by Mary J. Blige. Reminisce. That's one of my favorite Mary J. Blige songs. So I was very excited to see this and hear this song. Very dope. I mean, album after album. I mean, I can't really get any more deeper than that. Like, he's just Nas is Nas. Nas is back, and I would say Nas is back. One album that definitely deserves my honorable mention is an album that I also do play a lot. Just because the album is just, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's Smoke DZA, 10,000 Hours. My God. Never been a Smoke DZA fan. Not gonna lie to you. I've seen him plenty of times featured on a lot of artists that I do listen to, like Currency. Everybody knows I'm a big Currency fan. And unfortunately, Currency didn't make this list because Currency comes out with too much goddamn music. I'm still trying to catch up for the shit he dropped in June. You feel me? But 10,000 Hours is definitely a ride. The Flu Game is dope. They sampled the famous Lock song "Can I Live," I believe, or I think it's "Can I Live." No, We Gonna Make It. He sampled "We Gonna Make It." I'm sorry about that. But the way they chopped the beat up. And let me tell you, the reason why I listened to this album and I gave it an honorable mention was because I was watching an interview on Math Hoffa podcast with Young Guru. And Young Guru was talking about like how he was in depression mode. 2020 hit him really hard and he lost some family members. And Smoke DZA is the one that got him back into engineering. And he engineered, I believe, this one, and Smoke DZA came out with another album just recently that is super dope. I think that album is called, give me a second. That album is Rolling Stone. I haven't checked into that album yet. But 10,000 Hours definitely is an album you should check out. Let me tell you the tracks to check out. You should check out Flu Game, North Face Bombers with The Game was dope. The joint with Top of the Morning with Ransom, that beat right there, bro, is so fucking hard, bro. And Ransom really went off on that joint. Like, Ransom went in. His verse has to be like one of the dopest I've heard in a long time. Then he follows it up with Top of the Morning. That's with Ransom. Then Wish Upon a Star with Currency. That joint's fire. 1,000 Grams Right Now. I mean, one of the songs he really touched down, talking about how he lost his pops. He has a song dedicated to his father on here. That's pretty fucking amazing. Yeah, man, it's just album after album after album after album after album. And I think, to be honest with you, since these are like my options of everything that went on, it's just crazy. But other honorable mention is Benny the Butcher, Tana Talk 4. Decent album. I like Conway's format better. I like the flow better. But Benny definitely did have some bangers on that joint. I'm not gonna lie to you. Back to back with Stove Guys, Super Plug. I didn't really like the 10 Commandments on that joint with Diddy. I really think that could have been done a lot better. I wish he would have got DJ Premier to do that shit because, 10 Commandments from Biggie, if you're going to do that, if you're going to redo that song, you got to put Primo on it, man. You can't do nothing else. But, other than that, Tyson versus Ali was pretty dope. One of the hardest verses of the year has to be on Johnny P's Cadillac. And I couldn't figure out who had the best verse between Benny the Butcher and J. Cole. But J. Cole, my nigga, that verse, that first 8 bars, on the night I was born, the rain was pouring, God was crying, lightning strikes, power outage, sparks are flying. The real ones here, the young boy that walked with lions around the outlines of chalk where the corpse is lying. Of course, I'm trying to revive a sport that's dying, but the guns and the drug bars they be lying. Got these nerves thinking that you niggas as hard as I am, but I can't just. I'm not a rapper, guys. I'm not a rapper. But that J. Cole verse has to be one of the hardest verses of the year. Of course, Jay-Z definitely has one of the hardest verses of the year. On God Did, the 4-minute verse. Shit was crazy. Shit was bananas. But yo, that's my Super Top Friends 5. Make sure you hashtag this Super Friends Top 5. If you have a top 5, make sure you tag Beerz and Barz and do the hashtag Super Friends Top 5. And give your top 5. What was you listening to this year? You feel what I'm saying? So make sure you follow Beerz and Barz on Instagram. Make sure you follow Beerz and Barz on YouTube. Subscribe, like, and share, and comment. And of course, don't forget your boys over here at Easily Offended Podcast. Make sure you shout us out. Follow us on Instagram, Pod Easily on Twitter, Easily Offended Podcast on YouTube. We definitely have a lot of great things in store in 2023. And yeah, man, shout out to Beerz and Barz, man. I'm out. That's my super top 5 of 2022. Holla back. Peace.